Hello everyone. Today we are going to start with a new topic called as inductance of a transmission line with unsymmetrical spacing. So as you can see there, you will be having three conductors which are being placed. So let me write this one as A, this one as C, and this one as B, which is being present. DAB is DAB is the distance between the conductors. Let me show it again. So DA, so this is the conductors which is being present there. So A, B and C which is being present. So DAB is the distance between A to B. As you can see what we did in symmetrical spacing, the name itself it has been quite clear. It is unsymmetrical spacing of conductors, and you need to find out the inductance of a transmission line with unsymmetrical spacing. So considering these things into picture, I have the next one, which is nothing but the distance between B to C. The distance between B to C is nothing but DBC. So B to C, which is there, that is the distance between B to C, and C to A, I have the distance between C to A, that is DCA. So you can see that the conductor B is located at a faraway place. So if I would have placed somewhere here, it would have been resembling like an equilateral triangle, but this is not an equilateral triangle. So this is nothing but a triangle with different sides there. So the sides are completely varying in nature. So now let me consider three conductors A, B, C having radius R, but it has been unsymmetrically spaced. So as I told you in the picture, it is unsymmetrically spaced. Now, when I want to talk about when I want to talk about the flux linkage of the conductor phi A. So with respect to this conductor, how do I draw, or how do I come to the arrival of the first equation which has been written here? Phi A is the flux linkage. So now 2 into 10 power minus 7, which is common, and due to current IA, this is the first term that you get. Next one you will be having again as 2 into 10 power minus 7. So this term comes into picture. So which is IB, and ln of 1 divided by DAB. So that is one thing which is being present, and later on the addition of the next current, which is IC. So considering it to be a three-phase system, I'll be having three currents in all the phases that is being present. So once it has been a balanced system, IA plus IB plus IC will be equal to 0. So this current is with respect to the current in the phase C, and the distance between this one, which is DCA. So this was the flux linkage equation for the conductor A. So next one, the inductance of conductor A, which is LA, which has been found out by phi A divided by IA. So once you divide it, so you'll be getting 1 here, IA by IA is 1, IB by IA, that is one more thing, and IC by IA, which is being present there. So ln of 1 divided by DAB, ln of 1 divided by DCA. So those are the things that is being present there. So next one, what you can come across is, so once you say that the currents are said to be in a balanced way, you have IA in terms of the phasor reference. So if I want to talk about phasor, it is nothing but the rotating vector there. So IA at an angle 0. So that is nothing but, if I want to rotate it with respect to any angle there, so vector rotation is being done like this. Next one, I have IB again. So imagine this to be a three-phase system. So when I draw the vector notation, you can have A, B and C that is being present there, 120-degree displacement with respect to each other. So these are the equations which are drawn with respect to this term which is being present here. So next one, I can generally talk about the term which is IB by IA. So if you divide it, IB by IA, so you'll be getting this term, and IC by IA, which is this term, because we need two equations that is being present there, which I need to substitute it. So this one here, and again this one here. So if I want to make the substitution, I can go for these equations which are being present there. So next one, so after substituting, so what I will get, so I'll be getting the inductance term. So in the above equation. So above equation, if I want to replace the inductance term there, so LA is the inductance term that is being present. So I can replace it and I can arrive at this equation after manipulation. So you can have the common factors, this one and this one as a common factor. Okay, and again root 3 by 2 and root 3 by 2 again taking it as a common factor and arriving at this equation for LA. So this is LA and I can write it like this. So this is a simple mathematical substitution that you can go with it. So next one, I need to do it for remaining two phases which are being present there. So how do I do it? So I can do it in such a way that taking B as a reference, okay, taking B as a reference. So I'll be getting phi B, okay. So this is phi B and this is LB that is being present. And again, I have IA by IB and IC by IB. I can get this equation which is being present there. So this one is left for you to analyze it. And how do you get this term at the end? It has been left to you with mathematical simplification. So next one, what I can do here is I can go for the next set of the equation. After LB, this is LB again. So you'll be getting one ln of AB, BBC and this one, which is the equation for LB. So next one, phi C, which is being present there. And after simplification of phi C, so you'll get LC. This one is LC, it is not phi C. This is LC because you don't have any current term which is being present there. No current term. No current term. So that's why it is called as LC, that is inductance of phase C. So at the end, I have three set of equations, which is LA, LB and LC. If you can look at this equation, this is LA, next one you have LB and next one you have LC. LA, so AB, CA and next you have AB and CA. So if you want to find out A, B and with respect to LA, this is what a simple thing that I'll be remembering. So I have the concept of cyclic symmetry. So I'll be having DAB and D. After B, you get C. And again, come back to the same one, which is A, B, C, which is being present there. AB, BC, and again, CA. So this is what a cyclic symmetry is all about. So I can write it like this, A, B, C, AB, grouping of two terms, BC, and again, grouping of two terms, CA. So you can write it like this. Similarly, this one, which is LB, which is the inductance of the term DAB, DBC. So I can write it as this one, which is, yeah, so DAB, again, I can write it like this. Instead of writing like this DBC and DAB, I can divide it this term which is being present here. So this is just a simple notation, like how you can remember such equations in all the three phases easily. So this you can replace it as DBC and next one DAB there. Okay, so you can similarly come to a conclusion. So DCA, okay, which is being present here, DBC, which is being present in the denominator. So you can clearly see that from the individual phases, the inductance of the line, which is symmetrical, is a complex number. So this term is a complex term, and this one is the real part. And you can see that once it has been unsymmetrically spaced, it results in a complex number. It not results in a real number or any other part of the complex number which is being present there. So the imaginary part in the expression represents exchange of energy between the phases. Once I was telling these are spaced at an angle, or generally whatever the angles that is being present between two lines. So DBC is the distance, and there is an exchange of energy that is being present there with respect to these phases. That is entirely done, which was absent in case of symmetrical spacing. So here you will be having the presence of the energy exchange that is being done then, considering inductance and capacitance to be the energy storing elements. So we are talking only about the inductance term being present in the transmission line. That's the reason why we will be having the change of energy or exchange of energy in general. So this was a simple derivation for all the three phases that are being present there. Moving on to the next one, I have the term which is called as inductance of a three-phase line with unsymmetrical spacing but transposed. Okay, so I'll tell you what do you mean by transpose. It is nothing but the change in the position of the conductors with respect to each and every phase. So now if I want to consider a three-phase line having three conductors but not spaced equilaterally, the problem of finding the inductance is quite difficult. So the flux linkage and the corresponding inductance will not be the same in each and every phase. Due to this difference or different inductance per phase, there is unbalance in the circuit through currents in each phases. So why there is an unbalance? It is nothing but due to the currents that has been established in each phases. So those are the things that is being present there. So next one, the drop in the three phases due to these inductances are observed to be different. Thus, at the receiving end, we will not get the same voltage. So there are many such losses, conductor losses, and this is one more loss that is due to the inductance, the energy loss that is being present there. So that's the reason why we will not get the same voltage is not obtained. So next one, in order to achieve balance, the transposition of a transmission line is preferred after a certain fixed distance. So in each and every phase, if I want to talk after a certain distance, say if I have 300 kilometer transmission line, so after the length or three positions are being there. So if I want to talk for 300 kilometer transmission, long transmission line, so for each and every instant, that is a distance of say 100 kilometer or 110 kilometer. Okay, so depending on the distances, we can generally have the transposition of conductors that is being present there. If you can see there, position 1 will be having X. Yeah, so this is XYZ. Next, moving Z to the next position. Okay, and again conductor X and conductor Y. Next, moving Y to the next position, I have conductor Z and conductor X. See here, after each and every 100-meter change or 100 kilometer range, conductor X is changing the position, and conductor X, similarly conductor Y changes the position, and it results there conductor Z moves here and conductor Z moves here there. So this is one thing that is being clearly present. So next one, if I want to understand, so the positions of each conductors are being changed at a regular interval of time, so that it can occupies the next position, that is by the next conductor. So this exchange of conductor position is called as transposition. So this is what do you mean by transposition? What is transposition? That positions of the conductors which are being changed at a regular interval along the conductor, which occupies the original position of every other conductor over the equal distance. That is what it is called as transposition, and the balance is being restored. That is the main aim or the main idea. So the balance has to be restored in such conductors there. So now it shows a complete transposition cycle in the above figure what I just showed you right now. The conductors in the individual phases are being denoted as XYZ. So how in case of ABC or RYB, we can have the notation being given as XYZ, and the positions are 1, 2, and 3. The same average inductance over one complete cycle is obtained due to transposition. So the average inductance of one conductor is obtained by finding the flux linkages for conductor for each position that is being occupied during a complete cycle of transposition. Then the average flux linkages are obtained. So that's the clear-cut scenario or clear-cut thing that we can follow. So X, yeah, this is conductor X, conductor Y, and conductor Z. So this is being replaced by 1, 2, yeah. So that's how it is 1 and 2, D1 to 2 and 3. This is position 3, 3 and 1 that is being present there. So next one, if I want to analyze, okay. So if I want to analyze the system that is being present there, so how I can write it? So let us find the flux linkage of conductor X in position 1 So X, Y, Z are in position 2 and 3. So once if I want to talk about this one, X, Y, Z. So this is position 1, position 2 and position 3. So X, Y, Z are the conductors that are being present there. Similarly, the flux linkage of conductor X with respect to position 1. So that's how I can write it. So phi x1. So this is position of conductor X, that is at the first position, position 1 of conductor X. So I can write it as 2 into 10 power minus 7 Ix ln of 1 divided by r dash plus Iy ln of 1 divided by d12 plus Iz ln of 1 divided by d31. So conductor X is in position 2. The next one, next equation, what I will be writing. So this is being replaced here. This goes here and this comes here there. So now in the same manner, if I want to write it, so 1, 2 will be replaced by 2, 3. So next 3, 1 will be replaced by again the other one, which is 1, 2. So it is just the rotation or D1, 2, D 2, 3 and D 3, 1. Okay. So next one, if I want to write D1, 2. So these are the things that are being present, D1, 2 and D3, 1. So next, which I can interchange it, I'll be having the other one where you can write it as next 2, next 3. That's how the cyclic symmetry concept also is being applied here. D2, 3 and D1, 2 that is being present there. So next one, that's how the simple technique that you can remember. So again, position 3 where I can write it. So with respect to position 3 again, I can write it as D3, 1 and D2, 3 that is being present there. So the average value of flux linkage of a conductor X, you can find it like this: phi x1 plus phi x2 plus phi x3 divided by 3. And this one, the entire term is being replaced here. So phi x equals 2 into 10 power minus 7 divided by 3. So you'll be getting 3x times this term which is being present there. So Iy plus Iz ln of 1 divided by d12, d23 and d31 being present there. Okay. So next one, if I want to analyze it, Ix plus Iy plus Iz. So next one you can write it as Iy plus Iz equals minus x. I can write it as the cube root of d12, d23 and d31. So this is being called as D equivalent. I can write it with a simple term called as D equivalent, which is d12, d23 and d31. This is one of the important relations you can find out, and this one is being found out with Lx. So that's how we can find out at regular intervals of time. So you can generally come to a conclusion where, so all the modern power systems which are being generally in use, so uses the transposition of transmission lines. Okay, it's not done at regular intervals, even though there is exchange of conductor made at the switching station to balance the inductance per phase. The inequality of the phases of an untransposed line is small and neglected in many cases. If the dissymmetry is neglected, the inductance of the untransposed line is the average value of the inductive reactance of one phase of the same line which is being correctly transposed. So this is the thing. So why we need to go for transposition, or where you will be having such transposition of the transmission lines being considered, what happens to the inductive reactance of a single phase that is being present there. So these are the terms which is being quite relatively asked. So what happens? The main thing what you need to remember is a reduction in energy loss. Reduction in energy loss. So that is one thing that you can come across. Okay, so this is the derivation part that I wanted to share with you, and see to it that you work out as many derivations as possible and try to remember the formulae that is being present. And in the next coming class, I'll talk about the double circuit lines, and also we are going to solve some numerical problems that is being present there. If you have any such queries, you can just bring it to my notice. We will end the session now, and in the next session we are going to solve some numerical problems, and we are going to find out how we can solve the transposition of lines and untransposed situation, and what happens when there is a symmetrical spacing. Thank you.